I love making St. Patrick's Day gnomes, but I have to say, I found two really cute gnomes from at the Dollar Tree, and I just feel like I want to jazz them up a little bit. So I'm going to show you what I did. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to brush out the beard, and then I'm going to add some felt arms. Now you can get felt rolls from the Dollar Tree as well as these glitter vase filler balls, which I use for the hands for gnomes, and I love them. I have them in all different colors. Now I also picked up some Dollar Tree dominoes, and just one package of these I can use for a lot of different quotes that the cute little gnome can hold. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue two of those together so you don't see any of the domino numbers. And then I will let those dry while I put together my arms. Now I'm going to roll some paper towels and tape them together to hold their position. And this is what I'm going to use to have for my filler for the arms. And it's nice and easy. You can decide how big or skinny you want your arms to be. I roll the paper towels inside the felt, and then after I get it rolled up, I will add some hot glue. And I like to add it just into the center portion because the outer edges I'm going to roll those up tighter so it looks like the sleeves are coming together, and that'll make sense in just a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off, and then I'll add a little bit more glue. Now here are my quotes that I've made. I've made a lot of different gnome St. Patrick's Day quotes, and so I have a free printable, and I'll put a link in the description below, which will take you to my blog, and you can click on any one of these free printables, and you can save it to your computer and print out any size that you'd like for your own St. Patrick's Day quotes. Okay, now I'm going to add some glue to the ends of these and put a pipe cleaner just so that it can hold it into place until it's completely dry, because I don't want to waste my time holding it to dry. And I'll just use both ends of the pipe cleaners and kind of fold that over. And those are going to be the two arms that I will cut in half in a minute. Okay, now we want to add a couple of glitter balls for the very ends to be the hands. And as you can see, when you just add a few extra little embellishments, it really jazzes this up a lot, and it doesn't take a lot of time to do. Okay, so we're going to add a ball on each end. Now I can go ahead and cut that in half, cut the arms in half, and those are ready to go as soon as they dry. Okay, so picking the different quotes, there's a lot of fun things depending on who your audience is. If it's for yourself, if you're giving it away to a friend or a colleague, that would determine which type of quote you'd like. Some are silly, some are funny, some are just St. Patrick's Day, and some are really quite sweet. So it really, again, you just pick your audience. Now, you can make these different sizes as well. If you wanted to put them on some foam core rather than these little dominoes, that would be okay too, and you could have a very large quote. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just use some glue and glue a white piece of paper over the entire domino so that when I glue the quote on, it won't look like I just, it'll all blend in together. So first of all, I'm just going to cut around the paper, and then I'll add my quote right onto it and glue white on white. So hopefully that makes sense why I'm adding white to it. And then I'll add some other embellishments and a nice trim around the outside edge, and then it looks like it's all just the same size. Now, if you have exactly the right size quote, you could just glue it, make sure it's completely white, and glue it straight down. I hope this is making sense. Okay, so I'm just going to trim the outer edge, and that is what my finished product looked like. And it makes it just a lot easier than trying to size exactly. Now, I love using pipe cleaners for embellishments, and it's the perfect amount of width for the size of the two pieces of dominoes that are glued together, and it just kind of seals off the edges, and I love it. All right, now I always use a silicone makeup applicator, and it works so good when you're working with hot glue. So you can just push it down, push it into place. If a little bit of glue kind of spills out where you don't want it, you just rub it off with that silicone makeup spatula, and it's just lovely. I got that from the Dollar Tree as well, and even the pipe cleaner. So I guess everything's from the Dollar Tree. Except for maybe the paper towels, which you could use napkins, so you could use those. I love the little stickers that you get in the, maybe it's kind of the crafting section of the Dollar Tree. And the ones that have the pearls and different gems, they look so fun on these little signs. So I just trim out to make a little flower, trim out the edges because they're all stuck together in a row. And then, so I'll just trim off a piece that's just the flower, maybe 4 of them, and put it on my sign. And then you have a darling little sign. Now again, depending on who you're giving this to, is what type of sticker you would use. Okay, now that I've got the arms nice and dried, I'm going to flip over my gnome and just glue those straight on to the back side of the gnome. Now, in order to keep the arms so that they bend at the elbow, where the elbow would be, it is a good idea to add some glue and then just hold that in place until that glue dries with your pipe cleaner. And then it will have the fold in the arm exactly where it should be. And go ahead and do that on both sides. Now the tag that came with the gnome, the Dollar Tree tag, is actually a fun little part to add an extra embellishment on the quote for this one. Now, instead of using pipe cleaners on this little sign, I'm going to use, it's kind of like pipe cleaners. It was in the Christmas garland area, and I always keep extra things like this for my gnomes. So I'm just going to glue this around my little sign. I have some green glitter foam left over from a previous project, so I just cut out 4 heart shapes, glued them together to make a shamrock, and put a little flower on the top of that, and I'll add that to the hat to add an extra embellishment, because it's always fun to have a few extra little tidbits. One other embellishment I love to add to gnomes is a flower, just to help make it more three-dimensional, not so flat, so to speak. And my favorite flower is a magnolia, so why not add a magnolia to this cute little gnome?